For over 100 years, the Butler County Humane Society has cared for and placed into loving homes the area's abused, neglected, and abandoned animals. Our No-Kill initiative was started in 2000 with a commitment of the board, our staff, and our community. As we are a non-profit, non-tax-supported facility, the BCHS is dependent on private donations for survival. We hope you enjoy this episode of Critter Corner and bring your entire family to visit us here at the Butler County Humane Society.
Barely over a year old, Leona still behaves just like a young puppy. Loving nothing more than to romp and play, she is a very active and energetic dog. Her favorite activity is keep away, with most any toy or a good game of tug. She has even been seen trying to catch the red dot from a laser pointer. Due to her spunk and size, she should be an only animal in a home with kids over 13. A big boy with an even bigger heart, 2-year-old Oliver draws all your attention due to his size. However, it's his charm and captivating personality that keeps your attention. Bold and obviously comfortable with his surroundings, Oliver marches around like he owns the place, greeting everyone around one at a time. Expecting nothing but the best, he would fit well into any home that will give him the same attention and affection he's sure to give to you. 1-year-old Wade arrived to the shelter as a stray. Right off the bat, he was friendly and outgoing with staff and now the volunteers as well. He can be pretty active sometimes, but calms down quickly. Always looking to please you, he tries his best to follow commands as he knows quite a few already. With a well-rounded disposition, it appears Wade would fit well into most homes as long as you don't have any cats. Arriving to the shelter as a stray, 2-year-old Melanie was feeling under the weather due to a common kitty cold. As soon as she was cured, she obviously perked up a bit and began checking out her new surroundings. It seems as though she doesn't like the floor, preferring to be perched atop a cat stand, chair, or even cages. Though a sweet girl, Melanie would do best in a home with kids over 5, but may do well with other pets. At just under 2 years old, River is still working on figuring out who he is. It's obvious that he's playful, spunky, and extremely sweet-natured, but at times he's also rather shy and nervous. While around those he knows well, he is at his best and is far more confident than on his own with someone new. However, he easily makes new friends with other canines, but cats are out of the question. River would do best in a home with kids over 15. Although 8-year-old Maya was surrendered to the shelter from the home she's known for the better part of her life, the change of scenery doesn't have her down in the least. Quite affectionate and extremely social, Maya will rub on your leg in greeting, enthusiastically meowing the whole time. Though she doesn't seem to enjoy the companion of most other cats, she doesn't seem to mind the company of any and all humans, adults and kids alike. The Butler County Humane Society presents its 8th annual Furball, held at the Butler County Country Club on Saturday, April 26th at 6 p.m. This gala is one not to miss. Enjoy dinner and dancing to the music of Robert Piper of Pipemaster while you bid on fantastic silent, Chinese, and live auction items, including great trips with special guest auctioneer Ron Bodenchair. And don't be late or you will miss a visit with some of our adoptable residents during Yappy Hour. Space for this fabulous evening is limited, so get your tickets today. Tickets will be available at the Butler County Humane Society and Butler Florist. For questions, please call or email Cindy Dimmick at 724-282-7568 or dimmickzoo@zoominternet.net. 3-year-old Scooter came to the shelter as a stray after being found tied to a mailbox. While no one knows how long he was left there, it must have been some time since he was rather skinny upon arrival. Now in the care of Butler County Humane Society staff, he is coming around very well. Not knowing what to do with the toy at first, he is now carrying around stuffed animals and chasing after tennis balls. Still unsure from time to time, Scooter would do better with calmer kids but would do well with other dogs. Originally a skinny stray kitty, 2-year-old Franca has settled into the pampered life at the shelter. With an obvious love of food and cat treats, she has packed on quite a few pounds, but that just means there's more of her to be loved. Looking for a home that will continue to treat her to the finer things in life, Franca will reciprocate the affection with contented purrs and meows. In order to preserve all your attention for herself, Franca would prefer to be the only cat in a home with kids over 6. Though not overly large, 2-year-old Jace is very tall and very active, making him seem like a lot of dog. Though he is vocal and bounces around in his kennel, he behaves much better when out. Even though he is a sweet boy that loves to play, He would do best in a home with kids over 10 so he can let loose and be himself without knocking around little ones. Calling out to you as soon as she sees you is 8-year-old Paige. As loving as can be, she will rub against your legs asking for some love. If her silent pleas are left unanswered, you can be sure she will start talking some more. Paige would do well in most homes without kids, though she does not seem to like other cats, preferring to have all your attention for herself. Surrendered to the shelter when his family could no longer keep him, 6-year-old Double D has made quite the impression on staff and volunteers due to his large size and even larger personality. Though active and vocal in his kennel, he is a giant sweetheart that is simply looking to catch your attention in order to acquire some love. Double D is intelligent but can be easily distracted, making him best suited in a home with kids over 12 and no cats. Craig was one of 7 stray cats rescued from the Butler area by a compassionate woman, all of which started off rather shy and uncertain. Soon, staff was able to see their individual personalities. Now 3 years old, Craig still takes a few moments to warm up, but has been known to hop onto your lap whenever he is in the mood for some lovin', once he is comfortable with you. Not one to cuddle too much, he would do best with kids over 5, but would love the companionship of another pet, especially another playful cat to match his personality. Maturing years at 8, Elroy's activity level may not be as it once was, yet he still has plenty of pep left. He is frequently seen running around the yards with his current canine companion, proving that his age can't slow him down too much. But his true appeal lies in his disposition, as it is next to impossible not to fall in love with his quiet sweetness and happy hound face. Elroy would likely fit well into most homes, with or without other pets and kids. At around 1 year old, Callie has gone through much in life. Despite previously having a home, she had to be surrendered to the shelter when her family could no longer give her the care she deserved. At first, she didn't respond well to the transition, but now she has come to love her shelter companions and is a vibrant, spirited young cat waiting for a new family. Callie would fit best in a home with kids over 7, but enjoys the company of most pets, felines and canines alike. Despite getting up there in age, 10-year-old Sochi has tons of spunk and many years to go. A favorite among volunteers, she gets excited as soon as she's leashed and ready to go for a walk. Most of the time, she's out ahead of you, barking and turning around to see what's taking you so long to get going. Once the walk is over, she's ready to settle in and snuggle up for some petting and cuddles. Sochi would fit well into any home, with or without kids and other pets. Middle-aged at about 7 years old is Flicker. While not always big on snuggling, she still enjoys the company of people and all that comes with your attention, whether that be a gentle chin scratch or a wave of a feather wand. Due to her rounded personality and fun-loving attitude, Flicker is likely to fit into most homes with adults and kids of all ages. Sounding like a big, tough guy in his kennel, 3-year-old Caesar is actually quite the big baby. After he is given a few moments to acclimate himself to you, he'll beg for some attention, then give out a few whines if you stop loving him before he's ready. Though obviously a smart boy, he would enjoy almost any activity you can imagine and would pick up on any new commands quickly. Caesar may fit well into most homes with certain pets. Mila had the good fortune of being found by one of Butler County Humane Society's veteran volunteers and spent a brief amount of time at her home. There, it was discovered that she is a bit of a lap cat in her, but only once she becomes comfortable with you. Since being at the shelter, Mila has become a bit shy once again, but after some patience and care, she's coming around once again to more and more people. With an air of elegance about her, Mila would make an excellent companion for a quiet home without any other pets, so she can receive your full attention, as she knows she deserves. Meet Candy Kunder. Candy has been volunteering with the Butler County Humane Society since 2007 by providing transportation for our shelter residents to their vet appointments. In the years that Candy has been doing this, she has gotten to know hundreds of dogs and cats here during their car rides. Candy's entire family are vegetarians and animal needs are the main focus for her family. And since she recognizes the importance of spaying and neutering, she is happy to be able to give her time to reduce the number of homeless animals that the shelter sees each year. Seeing firsthand how well cared for and loved the animals are at the shelter are by staff and volunteers makes helping here rewarding, she says. 5-year-old Mossberg came to the shelter as an owner surrender. Upon arrival, he was understandably scared by the unfamiliar noises and surroundings, so very different from the home he had come to know. Still on the shy side with new people initially, he has come out of his shell exceedingly well, and staff has seen that under the nerves lies the sweetest of boys. Mossberg would do best in a home with kids over 5 and no cats, but he enjoys the company of most other dogs. This 4-year-old man, Jerry, is quite the handsome fellow with a face that's hard not to love. Starting off shy at first, he can be highly affectionate if given the chance. After a gentle cheek massage, you'll have him purring up a storm and following you around in hopes of more affection. Though still a bit nervous around other animals, he seems to have the potential to get along with them, as well as children. Although he's all grown up at 3 years old, Clay still acts like a giant puppy. Bouncy and goofy, he often interacts using his paws, whether it's pawing at you for some attention or grabbing at his toys to pull them in closer. He knows several of his commands already and performs them fairly well whenever he isn't focused on playing. Since he's loving and friendly, Clay would fit well into most homes with kids and cats, but is picky about canine companions. An older man, 8-year-old Kringle still has plenty of pep to him, despite his seemingly slow and quiet disposition. Although not as active as a younger cat, and despite being front declawed, he loves to climb and be perched as high as he can in order to lounge and watch what's going on around him. As soon as you walk in, he happily jumps down, greeting you with a welcoming meow. Kringle is in search of a home that will love him for his old age and quiet ways. This little man has the cutest face around and has a personality larger than his small body can contain. 5-year-old Larry arrived at the shelter as a stray and is ready to begin his search for a new family to adopt him. With a spunky, lovable demeanor, Larry enjoys walks, snuggles, sometimes even on laps, and attention in general. Though he likes just about everyone he meets, greeting them with a cheerful tail wag, he isn't always instantly comfortable with being picked up, making him best suited to a home with kids over 10. A bundle of mats and dirt, 4-year-old Joseph obviously had been running around as a stray for some time. Thanks to staff's care coupled with the dedication of a few volunteers, he's now quite the handsome boy with a beautiful coat and shining personality. While his favorite time of day seems to be food time, social time is a close second. Whether it is playing, getting brushed, or roaming the social room with other cats, Joseph enjoys the interaction, making him a great addition to just about any home. Still young and learning, this 2-year-old cutie Reba has plenty of enthusiasm left from her puppy days. She loves to play and run in the fenced-in yards at the shelter. Once she burns off some of her energy, Reba is ready for some TLC and happily gives kisses. Though she didn't know much upon arriving as a stray, she already knows many of the basics and is continually learning thanks to dedicated staff and volunteers. But since she still has work to do, she would do best in a home with kids over 12. Even though he's a bit wobbly on his feet due to neurological issues, 6-year-old Hamilton still behaves as any other cat would. He purrs, sucks up as much attention as he can manage, and even climbs, jumps, and explores. He has been known to misjudge distances or trip himself up from time to time, but due to his go-get-em attitude, he has quickly become a favorite among staff. As long as he doesn't get laughed at, he makes fast friends and would fit well into most any home, even one with kids, dogs, and other cats. Arriving at the Humane Society as a stray was a little overwhelming for 2-year-old Pitty Pat, but after settling into the daily routine of shelter life, she is slowly gaining some confidence, thanks to staff and the help of volunteers giving her some extra TLC. With those she knows well, she is the best lover around, snuggling and giving kisses galore, though she can still be shy with new people, making her better suited to a home with older kids. Beautiful and reserved, 5-year-old Judy came to the shelter as a stray, and she is more than ready to find herself a forever home. While she may be overlooked at first due to her initial response to strangers, she can be an excellent, low-maintenance companion once you have earned her trust. Once she understands you and you her, she will be a lifelong friend. Preferring to have all 4 paws on the ground, Judy would do best in a family with kids over 8. Saul is 3 years old and ready to find his forever family. Everyone that comes in, volunteers and potential adopters alike, are drawn to Saul in his kennel due to his cute, smiling face. Once out, he tries winning you over any way he can. Hardly ever seen without tail wagging, he enjoys just about everything. With a nice balance between active and affectionate, Saul would fit well into most homes, with or without kids and other pets. A big boy with a personality match, 3-year-old Grover can't wait to meet you. In fact, he's so eager, he will start to dig at his cage door to get out as soon as you lock eyes with him. Once out and about, he instantly begins to rub on your legs in hopes of some returned affection. With such a friendly and outgoing personality, Grover would make a devoted addition to most homes. Arriving at the shelter with massive hair loss and an understandably nervous attitude, 5-year-old Maddie had a rough time fending for herself as a stray. Thankfully, she merely had a flea allergy that was easily treated. She also quickly overcame her nervousness and is now an outgoing, lovable girl who gets so excited to see you, her body wags along with her tail. Maddie would fit well into most homes, but is choosy about her canine companions. Proper and ladylike, just as her name implies, 1-year-old Miss Lucy was surrendered to the shelter when her owner could no longer care for her. Staff was informed that she is loving and sweet, but it took some time for her to adjust to her new surroundings before her true personality was shown. Now, her fantastic nature shines through as she happily socializes with other cats and greets newcomers with welcoming eyes. Before you know it, she'll be purring up a storm in your lap. Miss Lucy would fit well into most homes. Dutch is 2 years old and arrived to the shelter as a stray, so not much is known about his past. However, it is clear that he knows what he wants, and that's a new home. Strong both mentally and physically, Dutch likes to be active and challenged whenever possible. This can make him a bit much for younger children, so a home with children over 10 would be best. However, he would make a great companion if you are looking for anything from a running partner to a cuddly house dog willing to learn some fun show tricks, such as roll over and play dead. Smokey was brought to the shelter at 3 years old. Before arriving, he had an unfriendly run-in with the dog, making him very shy. Though he's often seen hiding both in and out of his kennel, staff has seen more and more of his personality the longer he has been at the shelter, reassuring them that there is still a friendly boy hidden behind all those nerves. But this still means that Smokey would do best in a home with no young kids or dogs. After arriving as a stray, 1-year-old Zira was understandably scared and uncertain. However, she instantly took to one of the staff members and was a bouncy, outgoing girl that plays, gives kisses, and thinks she's a lap dog. Although she didn't respond the same to everyone that way, she has made great strides with everyone and is coming out of her shell more and more each day. Since she still has a way to go, she needs a home with no kids under 13. 2-year-old Esther started off her stay at the shelter with her best foot forward. Right off the bat, she was friendly and affectionate with staff and has continued to be so with volunteers of all ages. At first, she didn't seem to enjoy the company of other cats, but has made some improvement, leading staff to believe she wouldn't mind sharing her new home with some other animals or kids. 7-year-old Peanut was surrendered to the shelter due to her incompatibility with other animals. While it was quickly confirmed by the staff that she disliked cats, she seemed to enjoy running and playing with some other dogs, large and small. Due to her active nature and need to feel secure if being picked up or held, she would do best in homes with older kids, but would be an excellent addition to any home that matches her interests in kisses, cuddles, and walks. Still young in age, 1-year-old Mary seems to have an old soul. Not much of an active kitten, she prefers to seek out your attention. From time to time, she still acts her age and chases around anything with feathers, though she would rather have a welcoming lap that she can hop onto for a cheek massage or pampering brush. Mary would still do best in a home with older kids due to her occasional kitty diva moments when she wants some time to herself. Join the Butler County Humane Society at our annual Spring Fling Community Expo on Saturday, May 10th. Located at 1015 Evans City Road, Renfrew, the event will run from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. With something for everyone, our proposed events for the day include vendors of all types, including food, a rummage sale, Chinese auction, adoption specials, family activities including pony rides, and the ability for you to create a one-of-a-kind paw print of your pet. We will also hold a rabies and microchip clinic from 2 to 3:30. Rabies vaccines are just $10 each, and microchips are just $15 each during this time. Public admission to the event is free. We are also still accepting vendor registrations for this fantastic community-wide day. For questions, please call 724-789-1150. Adopted and returned when his owner could no longer afford him, Jackson has found himself in the market for a new home once again. Often attempting to act stately, he frequently blunders the attempt, tripping while trying to jump into a chair or giving in to his playfulness in a quick burst of energy by chasing after a string or piece of fuzz. Though he seems to be embarrassed afterwards, it's clear he enjoys everything in life and it's enjoyable to watch. Jackson would fit well into most any home. With more spunk and personality than his little frame can contain is 1-year-old Lenny. While in his kennel, he can come across as overly rambunctious, and it can take him a bit of time to come around to new people, especially some men. But taking the time to let him get to know you is well worth the wait, because the next thing you know, he'll be sitting in your lap giving you loads of kisses. When Ivy first arrived at the shelter as a stray kitten, she was taken into foster care where she was nursed back to health and grew into a hardy cat. Now 3 years old, she is seeking a home that will allow her to adjust on all her terms since she was adopted in return for hiding too much after a short period of time. If allowed a little bit of space and understanding, she will soon be hugging your shoulders, headbutting your chin, and giving kisses on the cheek. Staff was amazed by how active 4-year-old Iggy was upon arrival as a stray due to how skinny this poor boy was. However, they weren't surprised by his appetite. Well on his way to being a healthy weight, Iggy is always willing to show his appreciation by giving hugs and kisses. With his bold and friendly demeanor, Iggy would fit well into most homes, so long as they don't have any cats, as he plays a little too rough with them. While she didn't show much of her personality at first, 3-year-old Felina is slowly showing her colors more and more. While she's a beauty, her true appeal comes from her personality. Though she doesn't like to be held for long periods of time, she's more than happy to give you lots of affection on all 4 feet, and even sometimes on your lap. Being such a lovely girl inside and out, Felina would fit well into most homes. 3-year-old Brittany arrived at the shelter with a wound across the back of her neck, showing she had a rough time as a stray. Understandably, she was very timid and cautious, wary of all the attention she was receiving from staff. Now, Brittany has come out of her shell and is much more willing to meet new people, but she would still do best in a home with children over 10, as long as they are not high energy, as they may startle her some. Felice came to the Butler County Humane Society as a stray. Staff discovered that she was already spayed, so she must have once been part of a family. While no one knows how she ended up on her own, she's moving forward and looking for the perfect home. During her stay at the shelter, she has understandably become picky with her people after seeing so many come and go, but she can be as nice and loving as the next cat if she approves of you, though since she can show some catitude now and again, she would do best in a home with older kids. If you're in search of a dog that will put a smile on your face, then 4-year-old Joker is the one for you. With a bouncy, slightly goofy personality, both his affectionate and playful sides are entertaining to watch. However, he does have a shy side to him as well, starting off a bit uncertain of himself, looking for reassurance from a familiar face. Once past your initial meeting, he becomes that sweet, lovable boy he's known to be. Joker would fit best in a home with older kids, but would do well with other dogs. 1.5-year-old Ashley has matured into a spunky young lady with a love of playing and socializing. She will greet you as soon as she sees you by calling out with a meow and by reaching out her paw through her cage door. Once out of her cage, she shows a lot of interest in what's going on around her in a friendly, outgoing manner, making her well suited for most homes. As a senior dog, 8-year-old Okie knows exactly how he wants to spend the last half of his life, with plenty of TLC, R&R, and a welcoming lap to snooze on. Though he enjoys lounging around for a good portion of the day, Okie is more than happy to play with toys. He's even been seen throwing them around for himself during his kennel break behind the front desk. Due to his age and desire to go at his own pace, Okie would do best in a home with kids over 13.